It is official that the pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford, has agreed in principle to face off against the four-division world champion, Mexican superstar, first ballot Hall of Famer, Saul Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez has agreed. Terence Crawford, we knew he was going to agree. And they're working out the details to showcase their talents. Riyadh season, Cinco de Mayo weekend in May.
Hate me, but I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Hell of a fight. Hell of a fight.
Hate me, but I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Terence Crawford.
It's really, really hard for me to see Canelo losing to Crawford. But it's also, there's things that I can see that Crawford is so good at.
Yeah.
That it's like, I can't see him not being able to be sharp and do that round after round.
Canelo versus Crawford, a showdown of skill versus strength. Can Crawford overcome the challenges of moving up to a higher weight class? According to Berlanga, Crawford's legendary abilities might be enough to upset the odds against Canelo. But will the weight disparity be an insurmountable hurdle for the welterweight champion?
Anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't.
Andrew Rozier, a respected boxing trainer, has weighed in on the potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, especially with Crawford coming off a win at welterweight. Rozier cautions that stepping up to face Canelo at a higher weight class might prove to be too much for Crawford to handle.
The only thing he could possibly do at this point to regain that status is to beat someone of note in another weight class. And
Rozier's caution underscores the immense challenge Crawford would face in battling the pound-for-pound king at a considerable weight disadvantage. What's your take? Is Crawford taking on more than he can handle, or could he defy expectations? Canelo Alvarez has shared his thoughts on the prospect of facing Crawford, sparking excitement and anticipation among boxing fans across the globe.
54 is going to be enough for him. Him going up to fight, and quote unquote, if it should happen, Canelo, I don't see that ending well. It's just too much and too far to go. But that's what it.
Canelo Alvarez has effectively confirmed his readiness to take on Terence Crawford, generating excitement for what could become one of the most highly anticipated matchups in boxing. This potential clash would bring together two elite fighters at the peak of their careers.
Yes, it is official that the pound-for-pound king, four-division world champion, two-division undisputed world champion, and reigning WBA junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Terence "Bud" Crawford, future first ballot 4-inch arm reach, has agreed in principle. We knew he was going to agree to face off against the four-division world champion, Mexican superstar, first ballot Hall of Famer, former undisputed super middleweight world champion, and reigning unified super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo.
The potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford is shaping up to be monumental. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has ruled his division with a mix of power and precision. Crawford, widely considered one of the most skilled fighters of his generation, brings a blend of technical brilliance and strategic intelligence that has earned him his place at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if it's a fight.
Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has not backed down from the prospect of facing Terence Crawford in the ring, despite the debates surrounding Crawford's move to a higher weight class. Speaking on Sway's Universe, Canelo expressed his confidence in his ability to dominate the smaller fighter, emphasizing that he's not only open to the challenge, but sees it as a chance to make a powerful statement.
He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but
Canelo's comments reflect his belief that the weight difference gives him a significant advantage over Crawford, given his history of dominating elite opponents at super middleweight. Canelo appears to view the potential matchup as more of a financial opportunity than a daunting challenge. However, for fans and analysts, Crawford's skills and unwavering determination could make this fight far more unpredictable than Canelo anticipates. While Canelo Alvarez has shown interest in facing Terence Crawford, he also provided deeper insight into his thoughts on the clash. He didn't hesitate to acknowledge Crawford's elusive fighting style and the challenges of facing such a highly mobile opponent. Despite his reservations, the undisputed champion made it clear that the fight could happen under the right circumstances, particularly if the financial aspects align.
That he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford. Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, hands down.
That'll work. So if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money.
Canelo's comments underscore the complexities of making this fight a reality. While he recognizes Crawford's talent, he remains confident that his weight class provides him with natural advantages. At the same time, his focus on money and stylistic matchups indicates that for Canelo, the fight might be more about the spectacle and payday than the competitive challenge. This adds another layer to the ongoing debate.
He's right. I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So
can Crawford's skill overcome the weight gap, or is Canelo justified in relying on the limitations of weight classes? This statement also marks a shift for Canelo, who had previously been reluctant to face Crawford, citing the lack of recognition he would receive for beating a smaller opponent.
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 ways class.
Like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, but you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So
I can't go down anymore. But like he say, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't want to get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, and then he need to enjoy.
Meanwhile, Crawford has remained persistent in his pursuit of the matchup, willing to move up 2 weight classes to prove his dominance.
Canelo gets through Jermell, and then you guys fight. That fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
Andrew Rozier, a respected boxing trainer, has weighed in on the potential match